We need to be called to Pastor Hunter and those like him, and we need to stand united for Israel because everything is coming to a head. Everything is coming together now. God's people are being called out, and it's time to stand united.
That is true, and I will let you know something. I think we have to really refine ourselves. People send us emails, and they say, Jeremy, Ari, you guys are off. You're too angry. You sound like you're full of hate. And we have to think about it and say, are we? If we're full of hate, then we're off base. And we're not perfect. We're just trying just like the rest of everyone else out there. And I want you to know that we do not hate Pastor Hunter at all. As a matter of fact, I think that what we need to be doing is appealing to Pastor Hunter's sense of truth, appealing to the possibility of what Pastor Hunter could be. He could be a real spearheading leader. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's not about that. Listen, Pastor Hunter, we're all dust. We're going to die someday. It's guaranteed. We're going to fall to the ground, decompose, and we're going to be dirt. This life is fleeting, and time is something that's so relative. It's nothing. We're just here and we're gone like a passing dream. Don't you understand that, Pastor Hunter? You can be remembered by your children and your grandchildren and your community as he that stood up and said, I didn't know, I didn't understand, I am standing with Israel and the Jewish people. Let me tell you, Neville Chamberlain, when he appeased Hitler with Czechoslovakia, that's what he's remembered as. I'm sure he had a long job in politics and in the government, and he did a lot of different things, but what did he end up doing? He appeased Hitler with Czechoslovakia, and he's known shamefully in history as he who appeased Hitler, a megalomaniac, genocidal murderer.
Well, Ari, let me tell you what happened at the end of the debate with me and Pastor Hunter. You know, it was pre-recorded because, of course, they chopped it up as we spoke about. And at the end of the debate, the mediator said, okay, we're off the air now. Thank you both very much. And I said, listen, before we go, Pastor Hunter, I want to tell you something. And, the microphones were off. This wasn't for the entire world. This was just personally between me and Pastor Hunter. And, I guess maybe that's naive, and maybe I'm a believer, but I thought maybe if I just give a real call out from the bottom of my soul, it just might pierce through. And I said, Pastor Hunter, I want you to know that God has appointed you as a leader in the Christian world at a time like this. After 2,000 years, the Jews and Christians have only known death and destruction, hatred and murder. You have a chance now to rectify that. You have a chance to bring our worlds together. You have a chance to stand with Israel under the Word of God. Please, Pastor Hunter, choose right. Don't do what's wrong. You have a chance to change the face of history. And he said, thank you. And I somehow walked out believing maybe I changed him. And then when I saw what happened on BBC, I was so crushed because enough with the naivete. Enough with it. We just have to be true to what we know is true, and we cannot lose that truth in us. And we need to believe in every single person. And we're not angry. We just love God so much, and we love the Jewish people so much, and we believe in Israel so much that we're passionate. It's not angry. It stems from a beautiful place of loving God. We don't hate Arabs. We love Jews. That's what it's all about. We just want the Jewish people to have a homeland, to be able to worship God as a free people in our own country. That's what we're here to do.
That's right, and really, it's a point that we need to drive in again and again. There's no hate allowed, no fighting against. We can't be fighting against. Even when we go and we demonstrate in front of Pastor Hunter's church, we're demonstrating to teach Pastor Hunter, to teach his congregants, to teach people, to change people into being on the side of God and on the side of truth. And I think that is a worthwhile cause, and the only worthwhile cause out there. And that's something tell me, Jeremy, have you seen people on different levels in New Mexico and South Carolina and Florida? What have you seen as far as people's thirst for truth out there?
Oh, my goodness. I spoke at the largest Baptist church in New Mexico on Sunday morning, and it was amazing. It was so funny. Before, as I'm talking, I asked, how many people have been here to Israel here in Hoffmantown? And 90% or just 80%, I mean, just like the vast majority of the crowd lifted their hands up. And I said, wow, that is just amazing. And then I was like, well, for the three of you that haven't gone, because so many of them had already been, so many of them are connected. But what's happening tonight is the most exciting of all, in my opinion. There is an Orthodox little community here in New Mexico, and it's run by the Chabad. And they have now opened their doors to me to give a talk in their center tonight. And for the first time in New Mexico's history, the Chabad Center has now opened up its doors to both Jews and non-Jews for this event tonight. And I spoke to the rabbi, and it took a lot of convincing because he is, of course, very, conscious of missionary activity and the hidden agenda that many Christians have, and he was very nervous. But I said, our redemption, and this is what the Rebbe spoke about, isn't just of the Jews. It's to call out the non-Jews and bring them back to God as well. And we have an opportunity now of being that light unto the nations. And he agreed to hold the event at the Chabad Center. And what's so exciting about that is because until now, in the 1980s and 90s, the only interfaith dialogue, and of course that's what they called it, was amongst, very liberal, reform, and conservative Jews, interfaith dialoguing with different Christians, and it wasn't a real unity. It was just kind of empty talk about different ideas. But when we connect with the Orthodox, Bible-believing community here, that's where the connection is, because those are God-fearing, Bible-believing Jews, and when they meet true Bible-believing Christians, a real connection can be formed because we believe in God. We believe in absolute truth. We believe in absolute morality. We believe in right and we believe in wrong because we all believe in God. And that connection is where biblical Zionists stand. That is the core of biblical Zionism because it's connected to eternity. It's connected to the Word of God, and it's connected forever. So that's what's happening tonight. We're having this event at the Chabad Center, uniting now the Bible-believing Jews with an Orthodox Jewish rabbi here that will hopefully agree to continue teaching them and help building that relationship. And I see amazing, spectacular things here for the future of New Mexico.
That's a beautiful thing. Jeremy, we got 40 seconds left. Leave us with a thought. Leave us with some hope.
My thought is that Rosh Hashanah is on the way here. And Rosh Hashanah is Adam's birthday. And we are taught that Adam, from the very beginning, was taught le'ovda ve'leshomra. He was meant to guard and to cultivate the Garden of Eden. We weren't here to just walk the garden and pray to God. We were here to work, and we were here to guard, and we were here to make the world a better place. And we are calling everyone into action. Right, BBC. Demand the entire debate. Right, Joe Hunter. Demand the entire debate. Wait for our call into action over the Temple Mount, and let's unite as biblical Zionists.
To hear archives of our shows, thelandofisrael.com. Shalom Aleichem from Beit El.